So that shiny new game just came out, Fate Samurai Remnant, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. This game starts with a lot of cutscenes, about 6 minutes of it, but they're not entirely relevant for the almost 2 hours I played, so I'll just get right into the meat and potatoes. So first off, all of the voice acting is in Japanese, only the subtitles can be in English. I am probably going to say a few names wrong, so don't make fun of me. There's a scene here at the beginning of a man named Lori being chased by people in dark attire. When you finally get to play, you're using a sword against a whole lot of bad guys. The controls are a little wonky, and I had to mess around with my key bindings to find something somewhat comfortable. What's annoying though is all of the moves are displayed as if I'm using 2 hands on the keyboard and not a mouse. For example, J equals left click and I equals right click. So when new moves keep being presented on screen, I'm sometimes left confused trying to press the right buttons. There's a few different things going on battle-wise, like different stances that you can take, which switches from single sword to dual sword and changes the fighting style. Then there's the Valor gauge. When that's full, you can press a different button for a powerful attack. It's the yellow bar on the bottom left, and the green bar above that is your health. Then this giant person in armor attacks you, and you can basically do nothing against it.
私は唯小説烈士足らんと志すものである宮本伊織殿この度は誠に申し訳ないがゆえあってお命をいただく
俺はまだ死ぬわけにはいかない
So this white-haired girl, and I'm not even going to try and say her name, saves you from the giant by telling it to stop. His name is Ryder. Apparently she controls him. Then she herself tries to kill you, and then the red mark on your hand goes crazy and there's a red explosion. Then it cuts to several hours earlier. You're training with a sword when your sister Kaya interrupts you. She wants you, Lori, to eat, so she gives him rice balls. You get to walk around on your own next, but there's not much to see. You can't interact with anything, and you walk right through people. I talked to Sukinoshin, and he wants me to deal with some Ronin who are causing trouble. He mentions to you that you trained under the great Musashi. During the beginning cutscene I skipped over, it's explained that Musashi is a legendary swordsman. So I deal with those bad guys, then talk to that guy again, and he comments on that mark on your hand. Apparently that mark is also new to the main character, Lori. They both think it's a bruise from the fighting. You go to sleep and wake up to that person from before, Ryder, crashing through your roof. So it's now back to the beginning scene. The white-haired girl recognizes the mark, and then the explosion flings back Ryder and the white-haired girl. A new girl is now in her place, Saber. With your mark, you summoned her. So you and her run away, you're fighting enemies with her, and also learn a new fighting mechanic, Magecraft spells. They take gems to use and can't be used without them. So Ryder and that white-haired girl shows back up now. You temporarily play as Saber here against the white-haired girl. Then there's another cutscene, Saber is using a powerful attack and the white-haired girl gets blasted away, same with part of the city. A new chick named Lancer tells a zombie-looking guy that they should retreat. Then the original white-haired girl and Ryder also say they should retreat because Lori, isn't a master yet. She explains later on in another scene that she's not comfortable killing those who aren't as skilled as she is. They leave, you talk to Saber, and she explains about the waxing moon ritual. That red mark on your hand is proof that you've been chosen. It turns you into a summoner like you summoned Saber, and you will participate in the waxing moon ritual. It's where 7 masters fight a battle to the death. The white-haired girl and the guy covered in scars are both summoners as well. Then she explains about herself and those like her. They are heroic spirits, or servants. They died before, but were given another life as a spirit. They are souls of great heroes from the past. So the final surviving pair of the ritual will be granted a wish. So after that, you both go back to Lori's house, which is partially destroyed from Ryder. She refuses to tell you her name and who she was. The next morning, your sister Kaya walks in and says a couple funny things like Saber is so pretty and when will she and Lori get married. Then a voice of an old man starts talking and a floating book is the cause of it. It was was Musashi's book, The Legendary Swordsman and Your Last Mentor, before he passed away. The book is magical and it talks. They refer to the book by several names: Old Book Grandpa, Gramps Red, and the Crimson Codex. Old Book Grandpa is Lori's teacher of sorts. He can't read from the book because it's in a weird language, but Grandpa can speak, so it works out. He teaches Lori about many things. Old Book Grandpa suggests creating a makeshift workshop, so then you go get some materials in the city and then come back. On the way back, you are attacked, but it's easy enough to deal with. I took a look at the map for the first time, and it seems that the map will be different for each location that you're in. So now the workshop is created, and now you have the skill tree and skill points unlocked. I bought Riposte for 4 skill points, which allows for strong counterattacks. Then Kaya said she was finished making food, though she ate while cooking because she wanted you and Saber to eat alone. She really wants Lori to be with Saber, it seems. After eating, Lori tells Saber he needs to go work to earn money, but she seems to barely understand the concept of money. She must be from the very, very distant past. He explains that he helps the constables enforce the law, which is how he earns money. Lori's house will act as his and Saber's base of operations. You can use the skill tree here and other things that will unlock as the story continues. Lori, Saber, and Grandpa all go out together to help Lori enforce the law with the constables. Along the way, Saber is excited about everything. Since she's from such a distant past, where they wrote on wood, didn't have paper, and didn't live in big cities. Saber detects a magical energy along the way, so you all go check it out. After you both defeat the smaller evil creatures, a big one comes out and attacks. This one has an energy shield, which is the purple circle on the screen. Once that breaks, then you can actually damage it and kill it. After that's defeated, you now have mountings unlocked. It's another menu where you can upgrade your weapon. Equipping the guard mounting gave me plus 14 damage for heavy attacks. After that, it was back to the mission. To get to another part of the city, a map popped out and you can choose the location and then teleport there. Okay, so this is where I stopped playing. I played for about 1 hour and 50 minutes. There's one thing I kept thinking about. This game is like 60 to 70% cutscenes and dialogue. There's so much of it. The fighting is okay, but it seems the main part of the game is the story, not the combat. It's not that open of a game either. The places I've been able to walk so far are pretty restricted. This is more of a game for people who enjoy a nice, new, single-player story. The story is interesting for sure though, and I want to find out who Saber is, or was, still is and was. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you in the next one.